Well, this coming weekend, we have quite a task in front of us. We're in Revelation chapters 17 and 18, and we've come to a pretty critical text. We've hit a lot of these, but this is certainly at the top of the heap as far as critical texts. In fact, one commentary even says it this way: in an important sense, the interpretation of this chapter, meaning chapter 17, controls the interpretation of the whole book of Revelation. So, as you begin to read through chapter 17 and 18, you're going to find a memorable image, maybe perhaps one of the most memorable images in the book of Revelation. It's of the woman. John is carried away in the spirit, and he sees this woman sitting on a scarlet beast, covered with blasphemous names, had 7 heads, 10 horns. This woman dressed in purple, adorned, etc. Um, the interpretation that many scholars have taken, and for many generations, has been that Babylon was actually code in the first century for Rome. It's a well documented view. There are these 7 hills that this city rests on. There are 7 dynasties, etc. There are lots of good reasons that many Bible teachers have made the equivalent of Babylon as code for Rome in their day, kind of the center of power, center of commerce. Good reasons for that, and you could read many good commentaries that would back that up. Others have thought in the preterist view of it being even Jerusalem, and guys like Tim Labinas would give you great reasons for that as well. Actually, as an elder team, we talked through this passage, and many of us are more convinced that you have to pan out from Revelation 17 and 18 and take a little bit more of, I would say, an idealist position on that. I want to read for you a bit from this one commentary that I think captures the thought that the elders discussed. He says, "Yet there is evidence that casts doubt on the exegesis that places the equivalency of Babylon with Rome, and impels us to look for a more adequate, if more subtle, understanding of John's intention. It's simply not sufficient to identify Rome and Babylon. For that matter, Babylon cannot be confined to any one historical manifestation, past or future. Babylon has multiple equivalents." And I just want to go back to chapter 11, verse 8, to back that up in talking about this city, this center of power. It says, "Their dead bodies will lie in the public square of the great city, which prophetically is called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified." Well, we know the Lord was crucified in Jerusalem. Here, the great city, which will in the future be called Babylon, is also referred to as Sodom and Egypt. So this commentary is in agreement with the elders that are saying perhaps it is a more symbolic reference. The details of John's description do not fit neatly in any past city, whether Babylon, Sodom, Egypt, Rome, or even Jerusalem. Babylon is found wherever there is satanic deception. It's defined more by dominant idolatries than geographic or temporal boundaries. The ancient Babylon is better understood here as the archetypal head of all entrenched worldly resistance to God. Babylon is a trans-historical reality, including idolatrous kingdoms as diverse as Sodom, Gomorrah, Egypt, Babylon, Tyre, Nineveh, and Rome. Babylon is an eschatological symbol of satanic deception and power. It is a divine mystery that can never be wholly reducible to empirical earthly institutions. And then this: "It may be said that Babylon represents the total culture of the world apart from God, while the divine system is depicted by the New Jerusalem. Rome is simply one manifestation of the total system." So as we talked about it, one of our elders even said, perhaps those that are looking for the United States somewhere in these pages of Revelation, perhaps we've even found the United States as we turn to Revelation 17 and 18 and find this description of Babylon in all of its opulence. In fact, chapter 18, verse 3 says, "For all the nations have drunk the wine of her sexual immorality, which brings wrath. The kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality with her, and the merchants of the earth have grown wealthy from her excessive luxury." I think that it would be true that the United States, our people, our ethnos, our culture, has done more to kind of get the world drunk drunk on our excessive luxury, our godless excesses. Perhaps that it could be true more of the United States than any other country that's ever been on this earth. In our just wantonness, in our licentiousness, in just the gratifications of all things sensual, of all things that we would desire. There's not a passion of our hearts that we do not find a way to fulfill in this country, and then we kind of export that to the whole earth. I'm certainly not saying that this is talking about the United States. What I am saying is we can see the United States, our own people, our own culture, reflected in these pages, and what this passage, God will come, and this great Babylon, this invincible Babylon, will come crashing down. In fact, just in a moment, in an hour, it will say, this empire, this godless empire, will just come to an end. Saying in no uncertain terms, God is sovereign. God will have the final word. All of us will give an account to God, and we are not invincible. Woe, it says, woe to that great city, Babylon, the mighty city, for in a single hour your judgment has come. So I think in our present day, with even the Christmas season upon us, asking ourselves to reflect back, what values does God bring to His people? What is His church? How is His church supposed to reflect His character, His values? Are we there, or are we as His people reflecting more the values of Babylon, excessiveness, luxury? Spending things on ourselves, even to the point of oppressing others. So what a great opportunity to be reflective. I wouldn't have gone to Revelation 17 and 18 for a Christmas message, but perhaps because of the nature of where we live, it would be exactly appropriate to do so. So God bless you as you walk your people through a kind of a bloodbath of judgment, but one that could maybe strike pretty close to home as we consider our own lives as it's reflected back from these pages. So God bless you as you study through the Word.